Inside pitch called a ball.
All right, and had a power button off. And now we are officially back in live. As Joey Hagan is out on the mound. And Ramsey over at short, making the play once again.
Explosive play. Hit off of Hagan. Ramsey comes up, barehands it, and makes the strong throw over to first.
And I'll re-welcome everybody back into San Antonio here for Game 3 of Trinity Millsaps. Finally got the correct situations figured out on the audio. See on your screen, Mason Morgan stepping in, Joey Hagan out on the mound for the Tigers. Trinity taking the first 2 games of this series. 5 Ks on the season for Hagan. Came in having pitched 8 innings, and he's through 2 here early on. And I am noticing that you cannot really make out anything off that scoreboard with the red letters in the sunlight. And that'll be strike 3. T.S. Ridding on down to first. Will Baker will tag the base. And that's a 1-2-3 inning for Joey Hagan. And that's got to make a lot of Tiger fans pretty happy after a couple of rough outings in relief. And we're going to get reset. We'll get you through the lineups and get you back going here in just a moment here from San Antonio. And welcome back. As we get ready for the bottom of the first, I'm going to quickly take you through Millsaps' lineup. And 1, 2, 3 in the top of the first. It was E.J. Owsley, Wesley Grant, and Mason Morgan. And that'll be followed up eventually by Karsten Williams, Hudson Moberly, Wes Carr, Kyle Veal Jr., Lane Cross, and Braden Brewer. Luke Hamblin out on the mound for Millsaps. You see him in your picture now. And the lineup he will face will be Caleb Woodward, Anthony Susha, Will Baker, Grant Anderson, Sawyer Haynes, Matthias Ridding, Nicholas Jones, John Ramsey, and Kalfani Coney. And if you were with us last night, you recognize pretty much all of these names with the exception of maybe the 2 starters today. Joey Hagan out on the mound for Trinity. They hope to get 2 innings out of him and then kind of maybe do a reverse bullpen. And we'll see how that goes for Trinity. And it is Caleb Woodward stepping in now, hitting .541 on the season. 6 for 11 in the series so far.
And he and so many other guys had such a stellar day yesterday. So many averages went up. He was one of those guys yesterday. A lot of loud contact with him.
Back into the lineup after spotting his way into the lineup, dealing with some back strain. Says he's feeling good. And I think some of the games that he missed, it was more, there were a couple of games where it got cold. And speaking for my older congregation here, I can tell you that does not help a sore back whatsoever. We are 78 degrees here around first pitch. And that might not be warm enough at times. 2-2 now. As Hamlin looking to get a strikeout, and he almost does. Woodward just able to foul tip that one enough.
And we heard some worries from some of his teammates, thinking maybe he should wait just a little bit longer before trying to come back. Doesn't want to injure that back again. But he looked really strong yesterday. No signs of injury. Nothing slowing him down. That amazing catch out in center field, back up against the wall.
I feel like that play in center might have been the litmus test for where he's at. I think he's all the way back.
I think we can confidently say he is healed and he is good to go.
And if you're like, well, why are you so worried about your leadoff guy being back in the lineup? And I think that pitch right there was a good indication why. Such great awareness at the plate. Although he does go down on strikes there. I'll take the blame for that one with another announcer's curse. But as we said, hitting .541 on the season, on base percentage roughly the same. I believe that would have been his first walk had he drawn it. But he makes good contact. And another kid that's made really good contact, Anthony Susha, and .333 on the season. He's had limited action, 12 at-bats so far this season.
Yeah, he didn't make an appearance yesterday. We didn't see him come out to bat for the Tigers, but when he has come in, he's done really well. So hopefully he'll continue that trend today and join the hit party.
He's quickly behind 0-2 here as Hamlin ushering out the breaking ball. Converted catcher here for Susha. And they're trying him out in the outfield, out in right field today. And they're trying to get his bat into the lineup somehow, some way. And as we saw last night, you've got Matthias Ridding, who was 5 for 5 in game 1. And then you had Moss come in, and he was 3 for 5. So you've got guys that can catch. You've got guys that can hit. And then you've got Ridding, who is also absolutely stellar behind the plate. So you've kind of slotted him in as your everyday catcher. And then you got the rest of the backup catchers that are all really good with the stick, and you've got to find a way to get them out there.
And it's really good that you have a guy like Susha who can move around and play outfield like that. He's got a good arm, so you can put him out there and you can trust him to make plays out there. He's a really solid at bat, and you want to put him in the lineup, as you mentioned. And so it's really good that he can be versatile enough to be put in a place like right field and still do a really good job.
He's fought his way back in this count, evens it up at 2-2. Hamlin looking to match his counterpart Hagen and get a 1-2-3 inning. That'll be fouled off.
Strong swing to fight that one off. It got a little bit in on him. He's a little behind it, but he was still able to make contact and foul it off, so it didn't go down on strikes there.
Single game today. We conclude the series. Trinity took it yesterday by sweeping the doubleheader. That one's going to be rolled over to Carr. And throw on to Williams. Will retire Susha, so quickly 2 down. A little bit different than what we saw yesterday. Hitters had a lot of advantage yesterday. Game 1 had almost 40 hits.
And of course, that'll go down as an out, but that's really good 2-strike hitting. I mean, that's solid contact, just happens to go right to a guy. It forces them to make a play and get an out instead of just being sat down by strikeout. So, yes, it'll go down as an out, but still a pretty solid at bat, drawing out 6 pitches from the pitcher.
First pitch is a strike to Will Baker. It's been pretty solidly around 350 all year. Hamlin looking good out on the mound so far for the majors.
Yeah, that last strong breaking ball, you saw that break right into the zone, and Bake knew it. He nodded his head after it hit the glove.
Tigers nearly batted around in each of the first innings in games 1 and 2, scored 6 runs and 2 runs. But in this one, they're going to go down 1-2-3, 2 strikeouts for Hamlin. And And we've played one complete. Haven't seen a base runner. We'll see if one comes up when we return for the second. Karsten Williams will lead off the second. He batted in the 2 spot both games yesterday. Down to 286 on the season. Again, back out there for another inning of work. We'll see what they do. I had heard maybe 2 innings. They'd be happy. They've got a plan in place. We'll see if Trinity follows a plan for pitching. I don't know. And all the years I've been here, it's like, here's the plan. And it's like, cool plan. Yeah, you have no intention of really following it.
We're not going to follow that plan.
It's just, how do we feel right now? And we'll see what happens. But we do have action in the bullpen.
Not a horrible problem to have, though. If you have a plan, guy only going 2 innings, and then he ends up going 5.
Yeah, you're like, oh, well, best laid plans, but he was really good.
Yeah, pleasant surprise.
Yeah, and I mentioned we've got action in the bullpen only because that's intentional. Like, it's not like they're like, what are we doing? But intentional. We've got relievers throwing today, and then might see Zordigan as a starter pitching in relief. And I'm not entirely sure. My best guess is that maybe with how quickly our turnover was, maybe it was an opportunity to get him out here at a normal time, as opposed to everybody left here at midnight last night and go home, go sleep, and come back to the field. So I think every player out there on short rest. And we do have our first base runner, as Williams will draw the walk. So I don't know how much longer pitchers really need to get ready, but maybe it was a situation where if I got an extra 30 to 45 minutes, maybe I'm back in the field. And it could be Dave just doing something wacky. Moberly steps in.
I find it hard to imagine that they had him not start so that he could have an extra couple minutes to get ready. But that, like you said, that might be the case.
Yeah, I don't see anybody warming up. Usually guys will do long toss, maybe out on the football field. I don't see anybody over there, so I don't know that that's the case. Maybe it is just what we've been doing, not necessarily working to plan, so we'll see what we can do. Although, I'm sure Dave would love the fact that, as a closer himself, I'm sure he would love the fact that we get a team with a ton of saves. And last night in Game 2 was kind of a prime example because you had a lot of guys pitch early in that game and not pitch to official record. So then at that point you've got to decide, as that one shot up the middle, could be 2. Ramsey touches second, fires over to first, dug out by Baker. And Joey Hagan having an outing. We'll see if he comes back out for the third after that. He's allowed one walk, but he's faced the minimum, drawing the double play here. And, oh, he got a glove on that one, too. 1-6-3 double play. And the Tigers will come back out for the second. But I was talking about Will Hellings coming in relief, and he pitched 5 innings, basically. And he was the most effective pitcher that Trinity had, but he also can't get the win because he's getting the save. So it's one of those things. Looks like we've got a delay with the catcher getting his gear on, so we'll take a quick break and be back for the bottom of the second in just a bit. Grant Anderson back up to the plate. Oh, he hits it to his counterpart at third. Morgan fires over. 1 pitch, 1 out. Where was this efficiency last night?
Yeah, very different start to the game than what we saw both games yesterday. Seemed like the first 2 innings were the hardest to come by yesterday, and working very quickly for both pitchers today.
Sawyer Haynes stepping in, 345 on the season. His on-base percentage, though, a tad under 500.
And we've said it before, he is such a pleasant surprise for the lineup, isn't he? He just kind of, I don't want to say he came out of nowhere, but he wasn't an expected contributor to the lineup this year. Hoping to get some chances, but when he was given the chances, did a lot with them and earned his place, playing in all 3 games so far.
We've talked about the depth here for Trinity, and one of the things that they had done, especially for the infield, was when they felt like either Champness or Anderson or Lucina or Ramsey were all doing well, and they're like, how do we get guys in the lineup? Second base had kind of been that spot where it's like, okay, you play second today, you do this. And I'm not saying that Sawyer Haynes is a problem for the coaching staff, but he's taken away that option to put somebody else over at second because he has solidified himself into that role.
And his play over there defensively, in addition to his offensive capabilities, has been such a relief for this Trinity defense that has at times had some errors. He's been really solid.
Two. Draws count full as that one misses outside. Looking to become the first Tiger base runner. Instead, he lifts this one into right field. Veal gives way to Cross, and Cross will make the out. So 2 down for Matthias Ritting.
Tigers looking for their first base runner in this one. Tia's hoping he can be that guy. Very different outcome than what we saw yesterday.
429, that's good for third in this lineup today. Woodward hitting over 500, and then in the hole will be John Ramsey, the 8th spot. He's hitting 432. Don't want to miss outside. Nicholas Jones waiting on deck, hoping he can get a chance here. Check, did not go. 2-1.
Tia's hoping to continue his streak of solid hitting as he did yesterday. 2, 3, 4. Yeah, 4 again.
4, and then it gets into that little roll. Like, it kind of has more mini hops there, but they're not hops. They're just
we
more.
Can't count them. It's just rolling.
Just rolling. So we're welcoming you back atop the roof. Swing and a miss, and another Tiger down on strikes. Hamlin is rolling here through 2. Got a 0-0 game as both pitchers have faced the minimums. And it's still Joey Hagan back out there as we start the third. The San Clemente native, Santa Margarita Catholic. He's thrown 2 strong innings here. He's got Kyle Veal Jr. at 714 average. He had 2 plate appearances before last night and then just exploded. Running perfect for a while.
Yeah, another guy that joined the hit party yesterday. Incredible day. Struggled to get him out.
That's a hard shot, but right at the vacuum at second, Sawyer Haynes.
Yeah, I mean, you can't say enough about his ability over there at second to just bring in balls and make the play. Defensively, we've seen a lot of really impressive plays from him. And we see that there.
Lane Cross, center fielder, position 8, batting 8. Only thing that's missing, where's number 4? Higgins throws it back to himself.
Off that backstop. I think Ridding was wanting that to be a little bit more outside. Joey said, nope, I'm going to go up and in.
It is quite the cross-up. The 1-1 on the ground. Ramsey, 2 down. I think this is what the coaching staff was missing yesterday. Yesterday was a great day if you love hits, but it didn't feel like a baseball game in totality of baseball. And this one, settling in, pitchers on top of it. You're going to have to be really good to find your way on base. Braden Brewer will step in. The last hope for the first time through the order to get a hit off of Joey Hagan.
And yesterday, so difficult to try and get outs. Guys just stringing hits together. It became something of a hit party, and you find yourself putting in pitchers just to limit the damage, not even trying to get outs, just limit what the other team's able to do for both sides, really. And now you have a completely different story of both pitchers working really fast and getting a lot of outs.
Hagan plunks Brewer. So unless he picks him off here, not have another 1-2-3 inning. And you talk about the hit party. The saying in NASCAR, where cautions breed cautions. And yesterday it was basically hits breed hits. You get one, and then all of a sudden it was like 4 in a row. Multiple times.
We see that so often in this sport. Weirdly enough, when one guy gets a hit, the next guy is so much more likely to follow that up with another hit. It's really hard to explain why that is, but it just so often happens to be the case.
Guy looking for a hit. Be Owsley here. Shortstop started us off 19 hours and 30 minutes ago with a home run.
Looks like they will go to the bullpen here.
Strong showing from Joey Hagan. Still responsible for the runner over at first, but the plan was to go 2, and he went 2 2/3. And you can hear the applause and team out to greet him. That is a job well done for the Tiger reliever and a spot start. We'll take a quick break and be back in just a bit. Will Taylor in, 2-0, 1.46 ERA, 18-3 strike to walkout ratio, and he was stellar last year. He might be even better this year. He'll come in mid at bat against Owsley. And I believe it was a 2-0 count, so technically still Hagen's batter if he walks. Taylor gets him out, then he gets the credit. 3-0 in for a strike. I think we're at 100% accuracy. I don't know if we've had a 4-pitch walk yet in this series. Can't recall one. There might have been one.
I think we had one in the very first game that I remember.
We've had about 25 3-0 counts, and the rest have all gone to 3-1. Ramsey will keep it, take the force out, and job well done here from the Trinity relievers. They've gotten through 3, facing 1 over the minimum. Tigers looking to do something similar and not be stuck at the minimum when we come back for the bottom of the third. Welcome to the plate, Mr. SAA. Nicholas Jones had 2 doubles and a home run in his first conference game. And looking to get back on track. Struggled in the non-conference season. He had a big explosion here for conference play.
Yeah, did our lawyers ever get back to us on that one?
Yeah, I'm waiting to hear. I don't have anybody in my ear telling me that the paperwork was finalized. So
patent pending.
Yeah. And the important part is we set it on air. So now we've got a few days to get all the paperwork together and submit. So and for a strike, 3-1. And this could be an ideal situation for Jones. Still looking to really get his season turned around and get going. If he can get something in the zone here. And he does not. So he draws another walk. Had a few of those in game 2. I think 3 to be exact. So he gets on base once again. And that's got to be such a hard thing for a hitter. You're struggling at the plate, and then when you finally get going, the next several at-bats are walks. And you're like, I'm just looking for a pitch. I finally got it going back again. I just need you to put something in the strike zone for me to tee off on.
Yeah, not getting a ton of things to hit in that last at-bat.
John Ramsey, also with a home run yesterday.
He's also put on a defensive showcase here this Saturday afternoon. He's retired, I think, 4 or 5 himself. That's some really impressive plays over there at short. All three games, really. Been impressive at the plate as well. So,
had a web gym worthy play, diving to end an inning last night. Could have really been a focal turning point for them, as if that had gotten through into center, maybe another run or two crosses the plate, and that ended up being a fairly competitive game.
and you mentioned yesterday the sort of shared jobs that you see around the infield where there's not one clear starter. They kind of split the position and they both play games equally. And I think that works out well for this defense because it encourages the guys to have a little bit of competitiveness to them. You know, you saw Ramsey yesterday diving for that ball, and you saw some really impressive plays from Chantness as well. Really encourages them to go for plays that they necessarily might not think that they could make. But now they're fighting for competitiveness, and they go for it. And then you see spurts of really impressive plays from guys like them.
First pitch after the meeting, we fouled off. And Ramsey also super competitive here at the plate. 432. He's at second on the team. Hamblin seeing what he can do to keep the runners at bay. We fouled up here on the roof. That's going to go pretty far. You got 3.5, and then it fell over the back edge.
Looked like it had the makings of possible 5, but just went a little bit too far. Bounced up the wall.
Being told by Cole there are no halves, so we'll go 3 officially.
So it's a round down.
I guess so. I mean, because technically, I guess it had to be 4 because it bounced over the back edge of the roof here, so it's got to land somewhere. So,
but then that draws into question when it bounced over the back edge. It didn't just hit the ground and stop.
Right, it's going to bounce some more.
Wish we had someone looking over there to tell us if we potentially had a new groundbreaking record.
And the hits keep on coming here for John Ramsey. First hit of the afternoon for either side. And the no-hitter is broken on the home side. Now, Alfani Coney stepping up. You see 261, but take your eyes over to the right a little. 4 home runs and an OPS of 987 to go along with that 261. And this could very quickly turn into a 3-run Tiger lead. He's got 3 home runs on the week so far.
A lot of loud contact coming from Coney recently. Swinging the bat really well.
Not enough break to find the zone. Count settles in at 1-1. Trinity softball also in action across the other side of the Bell Center. We've got a 1-0 lead on Bethel out of Minnesota.
So they're playing another game after their was it doubleheader yesterday?
Yeah, doubleheader yesterday, doubleheader today. And this will be a pitching change here for Millsaps. Typical for softball until they get into conference play, and then they'll play a doubleheader for one of the games, and then they're in a 3-game series just like baseball does. Oh, there we go. During this pitching break, we'll take a look in. They had a whole tailgate going on over there today, too.
Oh.
Had a couple of student groups out.
Did you get a bite to eat?
I tried to grab breakfast this morning, given that the entire day is already thrown off so much from last night. It looks like the Tigers might go up 2-0 here. Ooh, close play at the plate, and they're going to get the run scored. So, Trinity softball off to a fantastic start. I believe they're 12-5-1.
Being signaled.
I could be mistaken. Looks like former Tiger infielder Colt Harris in attendance over at softball today. Back to the game at hand here in front of us. Hamblin be responsible for 2 runners on first and second. It leaves with the 2-1 count to Coney. And stepping in relief is Dylan Lozano. Solid numbers there from Lozano. 2-1 strikeout to walk ratio. ERA at 3.5 and 18 innings pitched. 1-2 on the season. And he's going to have to come in and retire a couple of Tiger hitters, including already behind in the count. 2-1 to Coney.
Very dangerous guy to be behind in the count against.
Yeah, you do not want to have to pepper strikes in there. You can get Coney to chase, but the task now infinitely harder on a 3-1 pitch. And bases are loaded. I believe that walk will be credited back to Hamblin, so he's responsible for the 3 runners on. And Caleb Woodward with runners aboard.
You have a really solid moment for the Tigers here. Good scoring opportunity, and that's why it's so valuable to have such a good, well-rounded lineup. California Coney at 9 spot, bringing you up to the leadoff position with bases loaded, no outs.
First pitch in there for a strike. I do not think that Woodward's been retired in consecutive at-bats yet this series.
It's an impressive bit of hitting there.
Because as we've gone through the games, I've felt like he was always
Spreading.
0 for 1, but then 1 for 2.
Yeah. Spreading the outs
1 for
around.
3, then 2 for 4, that type of deal. And it will continue. That'll be hit into right field. Veal comes up throwing. That'll keep the runners at bay. They go station to station. But it's an RBI single for Caleb Woodward, and the Tigers are on the board, leading 1-0. Just textbook hitting. One up and got a pitch at eye level, put it back on the ground.
Yeah, not typically where you go with that pitch. It was high and away, and he just reached for it and able to pull it into that little gap. It's infield.
Playing double play situation for Millsaps, so do have a bit of a gap there. And that pitch in for a strike. Anthony Susha. 0 for 1 on the day.
So again, really good opportunity for Trinity. Put some runs up here. No outs. Still at the early part of their lineup. Hoping to do some damage here.
Well, a good breaking ball will get Susha off balance. Swings and misses, and then I'll count 1 and 2. He's only struck out once in his 13 at-bats. He's also only walked once. So likes to go up there swinging and make contact.
It looked like he recognized that breaking ball really early, but he just didn't really know kind of what to do with it because he didn't know where it was going to land and how high it was going to be. Sort of delayed reaction, knowing he should have swung, but not exactly knowing where he should have made contact.
Well, maybe the most earned RBI of the series. Oh, he's going to plunk him right in the helmet.
Very different kind of contact for Anthony Susha.
And Susha looks to be okay after this one. Even with the plastic and the padding and everything else. Still don't want to see those.
Definitely not.
Oh.
I do remember sometimes, though, with that helmet on and it's a breaking ball, sometimes you don't even really feel it.
Yeah.
Fastball, you definitely feel, but a breaking ball like that that's kind of looping in, sometimes you take it and you're like, well, free bag, I don't even feel it.
Well, Baker will look at strike 1. I feel like the winds may have just shifted into right field.
Starting to pick up a little bit.
That one is rocketed out to center. Cross goes back, way back. It's going to one hop off the wall. He's looking for it. And the only thing keeping, well, no. Now they're going to go for the triple. The throw home is not going to come in time. And a bases clearing triple for Will Baker. This one just kept carrying. It looked like maybe Cross had a beat on it. And it gets just over his reach. Skips up, hops up 3/4 of the way up off the wall and caroms around. Thought for a moment it might go over.
Had some really solid distance. Pretty difficult to put it over that 400 mark out there, though.
And another big inning in this series here for Tiger hitting. They've played it 5, and we still don't have an out yet. Grant Anderson has a runner 90 feet away to make it 6-0. He's got the infield playing in. But he's going to send a shot down the left field line. That'll be 2 for Anderson. Easily scoring as Baker, and the Tigers have a 6-0 lead.
Yeah, you talk about timely hitting and solid at-bats. Tigers now have 6 runs on only 4 hits. So really efficient with their hits, getting runs across.
Take a hit by pitch, a couple of walks, a couple of timely hits. And that will prompt another pitching change here. We'll take it with them and be back in just a bit. Sawyer Haynes will step in against Fred Fields. I'm not sure what number Fields normally wears. We don't have him in our system, so we'll have to take a look at it later. Haynes 0 for 1 on the day. Tried to bring around Grant Anderson, which is one swing, but comes up empty. Tigers with 6 runs on 4 hits here in the 3rd inning. Make it 5. Anderson will move up 90 feet.
And that's why they call it the hot corner. So you get plays like that. See how it's scored, whether it's scored a hit or an error.
It did kind of go off the webbing of his glove, but
the reaction time off the bat.
That's 2 steps. That's 2 steps over. Right? It's a play that could be made, probably is made at least half the time, but I don't think that's a for sure play every time. And they gave Sawyer Haynes a single. Justin Parker, the sports information director, doing the stats today. You know, he's done about 1,000 of these D3 baseball games in the past, so I'll be landing in the bullpen area.
Almost taking out a couple of the Millsaps pitchers.
Tiger hitting already doing that to 2 pitchers here today in the 3rd. Ritting surprisingly did not get a board his last time up.
It's funny you say surprisingly, but that has been the case for him recently. Seems like every time he's up, he's finding a way to get on base.
And a 5 for 5 game 1. But just on the season as a whole, average up to 419. That is sent out to center, and it'll go down as a sac fly as Anderson trudges home to make it 7-0.
That's exactly what you want from a guy. You got no outs. Guy comes up, gets something to hit. You just at least want him to put it out in the outfield. It's exactly what you want to happen.
Good drive. Nicholas Jones got this all started. Haynes goes. It's a hit and run. That should fall. No.
Wow.
Veal with the web gem catch out in right field. Fantastic. And that'll be 2 outs in the inning.
I thought that was for sure down, but incredible play.
He's playing straight away right. I don't know that you're going to get a better defensive catch from an outfielder than what you just saw right there.
I don't think so, because most outfielders would kind of just let that drop and play it safe. Say, all right, I'll just let it hit. Don't let it get by me and throw it in, limit the damage. But Beal said no.
Ramsey's 1 for 1 in this inning, had a single. Came up with a man aboard last time. Still has a man aboard here. Slow roller to third. Fair ball. Strong throw over, but he's safe, and that's 2 infield singles for John Ramsey. Continues to find a way to get on base. It's a good, strong throw.
Just a difficult play to make because you have wheels getting down the first base line.
It was a slow hopper. Hugged right off the line.
I think the only way you make that play is if you find a way to come up on it, but that's a really hard ball to come up on. Try and ambush.
Well, after a couple of walks here, Calcone's jumping out at the first pitch, and I can't blame him.
Yeah, I would too. They've had the loud contact that he has, and then not too many opportunities given to him.
That one kind of got up and in on him, and he fouls it off. And that will be the third inning. But the Tigers strike 7 runs on 6 hits. They leave 2. They have a touchdown lead as we come to the 4th in just a bit. Wesley Grant out there to face Will Taylor. Came in, felt like ages ago now. Got the final out of the inning back in the third after Hagan went 2 2/3. Grant's had a pretty solid series. A couple of doubles in last night's affair. I think 390 on the year.
We'll have a tall task facing Will Taylor here. He's been throwing really well, especially in recent games. And he's a guy that seems like since he's been here, he's just been progressively getting better. Hasn't really dipped in performance. Pretty much every time he goes out there, he's had a solid performance. His freshman year, getting a lot of opportunities.
We got the swing and a miss. Redding applies the tag, and we've got one down. Yeah. Now 19-3 strikeout to walk ratio, and that's another part of it. You've got a guy that comes out of the pen. He doesn't walk guys, which is
not
fantastic. I mean, as a reliever, if you were to ask me, what's the one thing you want your reliever to do or not do? And it's like, just don't walk a guy.
Right.
Like get hit, whatever. Like, that happens. But if you're coming in as a reliever, just come in and fire and go attack the hitter.
Most of the time, you're coming in because there's runners already on. So you don't want to add to that by getting even more base runners with a guy that potentially is going to put guys on for free. So it's always welcome to see him trotting onto the mound because he really doesn't walk people. It's just not something he does.
Mason Morgan hits it over to his counterpart, Grant Anderson. He's got to make a strong throw and made it look easy.
The defensive excellence for the Tigers here continues. So they've had a really solid stretch of a couple of games, not making any errors after they had a couple games where there were some costly ones. Now they've been pretty solid the past couple of games. We've seen a few errors scattered here and there, but for the most part, it's really impressive play overall.
And Williams is going to get hit on the back foot.
And unfortunately, that is why they call it a back foot slider. It happens to do its job just a little bit too well there.
Now runner aboard, but I feel like the lefty Taylor will be able to keep him close.
He's got a good move. So I doubt that we're going to see a very big lead over at first.
Moberly with 2 down, looking to just do a job, advance the runner, and get on himself. And all you can do at this point for your Millsaps is just one batter at a time, try to string something together. So they did in game 2. Patched together 4 runs, knocked the lead down. 2 innings later, did it again. Found ourselves in the midst of a ball game. Tigers holding on to game 2. And you can hear in our microphones the wind picking up once again up top the rooftop.
It's now heading out to left field like it was yesterday. So coming from behind us.
That's a pretty good indication. If you hear it, just assume it's blowing out most of the time. Unless it's one of those really awkward situations where it's blowing in from left field, which we don't get a whole lot.
And with all those trees and tall buildings on campus, it's hard to imagine that there really could be much wind coming in from left field.
Well, Taylor with the strikeout. Solid 4th inning. That'll send us to the bottom half here in San Antonio. We'll be back from the Alamo City in just a bit. Welcome back, and top of the order once again, Caleb Woodward, 1 for 2 on the day. Looks at ball 1. Tigers are 6 for 8 with runners on base today. 4 for 5 with runners in scoring position. All of that back in the 3rd inning.
Due to that solid bit of hitting, we find ourselves at the top of the order again. Quickly rotating through.
Rolled over to first, handled easily by Williams. I think, if I'm correct on Woodward not getting out twice in a row, I think this is like clockwork. Hit, no hit. Hit, no hit. Hit, no hit. All series. And we're back.
Alternating.
He went no hit, hit, now no hit. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Anthony Susha 1 for 2. That's driven. Left field going back on it. Had a good look at it. Wesley Grant makes the second out. And, well,
it's frustrating because he saw that pitch out of the hand. He knew what it was. He liked it. Put a really good swing on it. Just happens to go right to the left fielder.
Will Baker 1 for 2. Had the bases clearing triple his last time up. Now 19 RBI on the season. Millsaps with a pair of 1, 2, 3 innings in the first and the second. A little blip in the third, but they're back to the 1, 2, 3 here in the fourth. And we'll be back for the fifth when we return. Top of the fifth inning. Wes Carr will lead us off. Well, Taylor's still out there for the Tigers. They're hoping to get 2 complete out of him as well. Came in the third inning to pitch a third of an inning after Hagan went a little bit stretched out than what they had hoped. That is fouled off, and it'll be 0-2.
6.
Yeah. I don't know if Cole's going to believe that, but that was pretty legit.
A 6. Cole, if you're hearing us, that was the first 6 I've ever seen.
Give some credence to the old 7 bounce that we've heard so much about. Down on strikes is Carr. Now Veal Jr. will come up. Taylor with his second strikeout.
Man, 6 bounces. Never thought I'd see the day. I thought it was a myth.
Yeah, all pretty legitimate as well, because then on the 7 it hit that roll. Veal. Impressive hitting here. I have to dig in deep to see why he only had 2 plate appearances coming into this series. Wonder if it was injury related or something, but it looks like his contact, his swing, should be a regular in this lineup here in conference play.
He's been very dangerous this entire series. I mean, seeing him step up to the plate has just been terrifying for pitchers. It's just putting the ball in play pretty much every time he gets up there, and not just putting it in play, but hitting it hard.
Saw the speed, so you know he's got good legs, but short, compact, strong upper body. Makes for a Really solid baseball swing. Tries the little back foot slider once again, and be 1-2.
Luckily, this one not quite as back foot as the other one that we saw. It's difficult as a lefty throwing to a righty because if you throw that breaking ball a little bit too well, then you get in a situation where you're just trying to avoid hitting it.
That one is laced out to Woodward. Takes a half step, crouches, realizes it's coming right at him, and puts it away for the second out here in the fifth.
I really enjoy how pretty much any time that Woodward out in center field gets a pop-up like that, unless he's sprinting for it, he always does that crouch where he gets really low to the ground, kind of waits there, moves around a bit.
Well, talk about one center fielder and lead us to another, and Cross will pop this one up. Haynes calls off Baker and puts it away. And another 1-2-3 inning. Tigers match Millsaps here from the last half, and we head to the bottom half of the fifth. Tigers still up 7. Grant Anderson will step in here, bottom of the fifth. First pitch swinging. Swirling winds. No problem for Veal, and we've got one down.
Veal Jr. out there putting on a defensive showcase. Hasn't made any errors out there. Made some really incredible plays as well. Also putting on an offensive showcase. Definitely making his case to continue to be in the lineup going forward.
Has had the man now at the plate. Sorry, Haynes came into this season. They were trying stuff out, seeing early on in the season, you throw everybody out there and see, like, hey, who rises up to the top? And Haynes was definitely one of them. Now he's sending Veal Jr. on the trot, and he scampers over, makes that catch right at the warning track.
It's unfortunate.
The foul line warning track, because you got that short fence, so you got to have the change in color there to give people notice that, hey, you're about to flip over a fence.
Right.
And quickly 2 down here.
Unfortunately, if he had the wind that we had earlier blowing out to right field, that might have been a very different story. But seeing as the wind has shifted a little bit, didn't really help him there.
Lozano came in and to help get Millsaps out of the jam back in the third. Then he's pieced together 2 brilliant innings, and we've played 5. The Tigers have gone 3 up, 3 down in 4 of them, but it's the one they didn't. That's deciding the outcome of this game. 7-0 Trinity when we return here for the 6th. Bottom of the order here, top of the 6th, it'll be Braden Brewer, second time through. Was hit by pitch in his only appearance so far back in the 3rd. And he takes low for ball 1. You know, one of the stories we did not get to yesterday was a little bit of Major League Baseball spring training news. And head coach Tim Scannell and his wife Krista, their oldest, Matthew Scannell, who maybe some longtime Millsaps fans watching will remember a little kid running around the field here all the time 10, 15 years ago. Now in the Toronto Blue Jays organization after a 4-year career over at Princeton and a graduate year at Wake Forest last year. Got the call up to the big league team for the minor league game or for the spring training game, and finished the game not quite on deck but in the hole. So almost getting first taste of the show, but rode the bus. Max Scherzer was pitching that game, so it's got to be an incredible experience. And congratulations on Matthew and all the success that he's finding at the professional level now. We got a 2-2 count here to Brewer. This is outside.
Trinity dugout, you could hear in unison. Yeah, definitely wanted that one.
Well, normally when Matias's glove does not move at all, he feels like that hits exactly where he wanted it in the strike zone. This is lifted, but Karam just beyond the infield grass. And Sawyer Haynes once again with the putout.
Showing off that mobility and necessity to be out there in second base. Basically almost out in center field.
Yeah. E.J. Owsley, 0 for 2.
And one of Taylor's biggest strengths is that all of his pitches look exactly the same.
Slow chopper. Fields it himself. Will Taylor's got 2 down here in the inning.
Very athletic play from the ex-first baseman on the mound.
I guess that would be a default position for somebody as tall as he is and a left-hander as well.
I remember when he first got here freshman year, he had some really impressive plays at first in practice. Some diving catches, and strong plate appearances, but in the end, his pitching reigned supreme, and Dave Smith claimed him.
As Dave usually does. Wesley Grant, 383 on the year. 0 for 2 today. First pitch fouled off into the dugout. And now I guess we can talk about it, because we weren't the reason why it got broken up, but the no-hitter is over here for Tiger pitching. Joey Hagan and Will Taylor going 5 2/3 of no-hit ball. But you had to feel that Wesley Grant, who had quite a game 2 yesterday, hitting the ball, is going to find something he liked. Now Mason Morgan, the runner aboard. That should fall out into right field. A little bloop single will put runners at second and third. Oh, well. No, dropped it.
Thought maybe if he held on to it, might
He
be
held
a
on to it, I
chance.
think he was out, but
Perfect throw.
he couldn't hold on.
Didn't even have to put down the tag right where he caught it. It was already there. But unfortunately, because of that, it knocked the ball out.
Take a look at the replay here. Yeah, I think the tag was going down before Morgan slid in, so I think that's one of the reasons why the umpire was slow walking as he was trying to look and see where the ball was. This was under Morgan for a bit. So now you go from a no-hitter to, can you hold the shutout? Because you got runners on second and third, 2 down. Karsten Williams up. And he destroys the display for the radar gun. Knocked the unit completely out of it, the little wireless transmitter unit for it. We'll see if that works at all going forward. It looks like it's resetting. That's a good sign.
Might have to send one of the relievers over here as a technician. We know that they've gotten so good at setting that machine up.
When we get the Eat at Joe's sign, we know we're good. Got Clayton Jackson in town. He's a former engineer. Part of the group that graduated last year.
Is he at the game?
He was in town with Nick yesterday. Saw him at lunch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3, and the threat extinguished here by Will Taylor. That keeps it a 7-0 game here in San Antonio. See if we got the clock working for that one. Nope. But he blows it by Williams. Another strikeout on the day. His 4th. And that'll take us to the bottom half of the 6th. Welcome back. New arm on the mound for Millsaps will be number 11, Ryan, and I'm going to go with Lake. 0-1 on the year, 6 strikeouts. And he's got a task of Nick Jones ahead of him. And being told it's Lesh, so we'll go with Lesh. Chopper, slow roller, over to Morgan. Comes up, fielding, fires, and Jones is retired. Oh.
Quick at bat for Mr. SAA himself.
Yeah, he's got something to build upon.
Yeah.
You got a game under your belt. We know what he's capable of.
And we know what he can do.
John Ramsey, first pitch, strike.
We definitely know what Ramsey can do. He's made his presence known over the past couple days. Defensively and offensively. Had a home run in the first one yesterday, and some really impressive plays over at shortstop, including that diving snag to get the out at second. And today, he's had some really impressive plays as well.
Yeah, Ramsey last year surprising a lot of us with the amount of power he had in his swing, and he lifts that one into left. Didn't quite get all of it, so Grant will put it away, 2 down. And he's come alive this year, another couple of homers, got 3 on the year. And just really, as you said, just effective everywhere he plays and finds a way to help the team. Much like the senior at the plate. Average down to just 255, but it's one of those things. It's not the number that you're looking at when you've got him in the lineup. It's his ability to go out there and hit the ball hard and drive it to all parts of the field. It'd be one of the things if you're a young hitter and you want to make a college team, driving the ball on your at-bats, even if you're flying out or hitting hard grounders and you're grounding out, it's one of the things that I know this coaching staff kind of looks at and it's like, hey, you're hitting the ball hard. Eventually those are going to fall. And then eventually you're going to be hitting 400 for a spell. And we kind of saw that with Coney throughout parts of this week. And a good eye. He's going to take the 4-pitch walk from Leish.
It's also very nice to have a competitive at-bat like that at your 9 spot, as we mentioned before. He's able to draw a walk there and bring up the top of your lineup. Really competitive hitter, Caleb Woodward coming in. Now you have a guy on first.
And both of those guys, Coney and Woodward, are the type that you can almost bat anywhere. They've got speed. They've got good vision. They've got power. You can bat them first, clean up, put them in the 9 spot, turn a roster over.
Hard thing is, it's really difficult to take Caleb Woodward out of the leadoff spot. He's such a good leadoff. Does a lot to get innings going and draws out long at bats.
Where's the number of one of the greatest leadoff hitters of all time? Ricky Henderson. And the fun fact that I'm sure people know through the viral videos that have been out there, but Ricky Henderson has broken up 81 no-hitters with a home run in his career. It's because he's hit 81 leadoff home runs, the all-time leader in Major League history, although George Springer's getting close. Coney gets back in safely.
Good idea to check on him. He had a decent lead. Might have been thinking about taking off if he hadn't gone over there, so smart choice.
Might be the extent of what he can do on his lead. That was a little bit late getting back on the reflex.
Definitely playing it a little bit safer now after the 2 attempts to get him over there. Second one actually coming kind of close.
Coney takes off. Woodward fouls it off.
I don't think that was a hit and run. I think he's just making sure he didn't strike out on the 2-strike count there. Looks like a called steal, but good idea to send Coney there. The pitcher was definitely focused on trying to get Caleb Woodward out at the plate. Not really super concerned with what's going on over there at first.
Well, we've seen Millsaps come alive with the bats, so you're still trying to end this game. You need 3 more to hit run roll territory. And Caleb Woodward's going to make it an 8-0 game as he doubles in Califani Coney. And that's just a great approach. And let me see. Yeah. He was due for a hit that at bat.
He's alternating still.
He got out his last time, so you don't even need to pencil it in. You can go with the permanent marker at this point. Now to the 2 spot, Anthony Susha. 0 for 2 on the day, but he was hit by a pitch, which gave him an RBI with the bases loaded, and then he came around to score as Will Baker cleared the bases. All of that back in the 3rd, and now officially, I believe this is the first non-1-2-3 inning that the Tigers will have. Other than so they've either scored runs or they've gone 1-2-3. We are 96 minutes into this contest, bottom of the 6th inning.
Moving quickly.
Now, by comparison, softball is in the top of the 6th inning. So a sport that is, by the rules, designed to be played much faster than baseball is behind in the situation. Hit by pitch for Susha once again. This time it hits him on the upper arm as opposed to the middle of the helmet.
A little bit of a safer spot to get hit. Right on that Evo shield. Luckily, so far he's only been hit on his padding. So he's been pretty protected.
Take that and then take a look in at softball. Now Trinity up 3-2 over there, but Bethel threatening with 2 on and 1 down in the 6th. Softball team, the last 2 years, I'm not going to say they were hosed, but before MPI came in, they were a team that won 30 games and did not make the postseason, which is a bit unusual. And then last year with NPI just missing, would have been, I believe, one of the first few out. I'm sure our resident statistician, Reed Rosales, will correct me on everything that I'm wrong about. But they're looking to maybe make some noise. Went from having Texas Lutheran a national power in the softball realm in their conference to now having Barry, who's in the top 6 nationally. So still trying to find a breakthrough on their side of it. Of course, Trinity Baseball kind of in that role of being the power. Although, with the latest D3Baseball.com poll, Trinity falls behind Center in the rankings. So, we know that Center and Rhodes both have good programs going on right now. Millsaps is a program that has found their way over the years. Slow roller for Baker. This could be trouble. Carr under with the glove flip, and they get the out, but Trinity scratches across a run. That'll make it 8-0 as we head to the 7th. Welcome back. We play on. Will Taylor still out there for the Tigers. He's pitched 3 1/3, giving up 2 hits, but he's got 4 strikeouts. And it might be the 3rd hit. No, Kellen Singhania out in right field. Makes the play. So reset the defense real quick, especially the outfield. Pierce Matthews will be in left, Singhania in right. We still have Woodward out patrolling center. Same starters on the infield. Grant Anderson at third, John Ramsey over at short. Sawyer Haynes at second, Will Baker at first, and still Ridding behind the dish. As Les Carr will step in after Hudson Moberly flied out. And some SAA scoreboard updates. Rhodes currently beating center 15-9.
Everybody's having a hit party this weekend.
Yeah, Southwestern had the run roll over Oglethorpe yesterday. That is absolutely smoked, and fans very fortunate that hit off of the gate.
Almost took out some of our alumni watching the game over there.
Swing and a miss. Ridding will field it, throw down to Baker, and the 5th strikeout of the day for Will Taylor. 2 down in the inning. Now Veal Jr. stepping up.
Very frightening sight for Taylor here. You know he can do some damage swinging the bat.
Well, for 2 today, but if he hits like he was hitting yesterday, I kind of get a feeling that we're going to see.
He's over 2 today, but what it's not going to show you on the stats is the swings he's taken like that one.
He leaves it up just long enough for his counterpart, Kellen Singhania, to take his 2nd out over in right field. So welcome into the game, Callan.
And that will go down as an out. But
that was
again,
a good hit.
Another crazy good swing of the bat. Just unlucky placement.
And so that takes us to stretch time here in San Antonio. But college baseball is always weird to actually participate in the stretch, because now if Trinity scores two runs, you go from the stretch to the end of the game with the run rule in effect. I don't know if this is legitimate here. I've got Southwestern winning last night 19-2, and then it says on the SAA website that they've won today 19-2. I don't know. But either way, a couple of games going on. Rhodes Center in a big series. And Barry, Sewanee, and then obviously Southwestern Oglethorpe. And I believe we've got a new arm out on the mound here. Number 12 for Millsaps. That'll be Christos Panagopoulos. He's got less than an inning of work, so we'll see what he's got for us when we come back. Christos Panagopoulos from Grimsby, Ontario. Canadian will face off here against Grant Anderson. Panagopoulos, hoping that the tides of USA versus Canada start to shift in the sports world. It has been heavily one-sided since before the Olympics, but
So, are we attributing him as a representative of all of Canada?
He's Canada's representative on the Millsaps branch as he faces Grant Anderson here, and that one just lost in the sky. And a base hit for Grant Anderson. So through one hitter, it has not changed. See what happens.
Difficult placement there. The left fielder comes up on it, and you think maybe there's a chance he can get under it and get that out, but if he misjudges it just slightly or tries to get under it, then that leads to possibly a triple.
Yeah, and we talked ad nauseum yesterday about the right fielders having to face the sun. So if you play at 5 o'clock, it's terrible for the right fielder. But if you play at noon, the sun, if the ball is hit up high enough, is absolutely dreadful for a left fielder because the sun is right behind home for the left fielder. Haynes skies that one off. Almost hits the cube over there in right field. A new addition to the Bell Center a couple years back, where Sports Information tries to figure out what the count is. It's very hard to tell what a count is from right field. That'll be fouled back, and I presume out of play. No, it stayed in long enough, but must have landed safely for Haynes. We've got no...
Yeah, hard to tell from our angle.
No, look, even if we stand up, can't really see much. You got the light pole right in front of us.
Just kind of have to go off of gestures of the umpire.
Another 1-2 count to Haynes. Misses outside, evens it at 2. Ripped but foul.
He's just a hair later on that. He'll be running for a while. But unfortunately, just a bit too early. That hook's foul.
Yeah, Mason Morgan, excuse me, guarding the line, but not necessarily for no doubles. Swing and a miss, and the first out of the inning will be down on strikes. Now Panagopoulos has a full inning of work under his belt here in 2026.
That was a really solid breaking ball. Looked like a breaking ball. It was sort of high, but caught Haynes off guard. Sally sort of recognized it out of the hand, but just a little bit too late of a reaction getting around on it.
On deck will be the aforementioned Pierce Matthews, who's taken over in left for Nick Jones. And a single through the left side for Matthias Freding. Now 2 aboard. They almost made it 1 aboard with 2 down as they throw back behind Grant Anderson. Like we know you like to run.
Sort of stopped halfway. Yeah. He stopped sort of in the middle, looked up, saw that the left fielder had it, and was looking at him. Said, I think I'll just go back to second.
So a visit here. I do not think that we've got a pitching change yet. Yeah, I don't see. I'm going to keep looking back over there.
Another hard part about being on the mound is we're not able to see the opposing team's bullpen, so we can't tell if there's any action over there or not. We have to go off of sound, and it looks like we will have a pitching change.
So a tough luck hit given up to Grant Anderson, and out on the strikeout, and then Matthias Ridding forcing the pitching change after he hits a hard shot through the left side. We're here in the bottom of the 7th. Trinity softball taking victory over on the other side of things. That one just wrapping up. Trinity winning 3-2. And so they'll start game 2 in about 30 minutes from this point. As we try to conclude the game here on this diamond, we'll take a break and be back. Welcome back and welcome to the dish for Pierce Matthews. So action out in the field, last half inning. Now batting in the 7th spot. A chance to walk this one off here for the Tigers. Conference play does force run rule into effect. Tigers leading by 8. Run rule set at 10. Swing and a miss from Jackson Woolley. And the Texan returning to his home state. That one in the dirt. The runners take off, and Brewer's not even going to attempt to throw something and potentially throw it away. So,
yeah, he did a good job blocking it, keeping it in front of him, but fortunately, it bounced off him just a little bit too far. He had to go and get it. Gave time to our 2 quick guys on the base path to swipe a bag.
And with that, the outfielders will step in slightly. Saw Cross coming up maybe about 10 steps. And then the corner outfielders all coming up about 3 or 4. Because you're in a spot now where a base hit could walk this one off. The ending run over at second. And that one misses, so Pierce Matthews will load him up. And Henning will do a pinch hit spot here. Come in for John Ramsey. I'd say a bit of sportsmanship here from the Trinity staff, going to the bench pretty heavily and then sticking to it even though the situation says that you could have gotten this one wrapped up with. Putting the rest of these guys in. Jack Henning, 300 on the year.
It's a nice spot to be in. Put in some of your guys that maybe wouldn't have played this weekend. Not saying it's in the bag for the Tigers. Solid lead, but it's not over. But luckily for the Tigers, you have really solid guys to fill in the ranks, be some depth for the starting lineup. Not necessarily throwing the game away by putting in guys that were not in the starting lineup. You're essentially just going to another guy that could be a starter on a different day.
Henning fouls back the 2-0 pitch. And we have Coney still on deck, so that tells me one of two things. Either he moved into the DH spot, which I'm not sure how you pull that switch off, or it was not Singhania out in right. And fortunately, I have an optometry appointment tomorrow at noon. So I'm going to get that sorted one way or the other.
Well, there you go.
To the dish now with 2 down will be Coney. Officially 0 for 1 with 2 walks here in this game. Takes low for ball 1.
I would say, based off of the loud contact that he has had the past couple games, and fortunately the inability to sort of have those balls land, not get on base as much as he would like to, I would say he's due with the great swings he's been taking.
That one is put out into the gap in right field, and it will give us 2 runs across the board. Trinity will win Game 3 and take this series in a sweep here on Saturday afternoon with a 10-0 victory. Now Coney 2 RBIs on the single. And Trinity moving to 12-7 on the year. And it just goes with the pitch, drives it out opposite field. And the Tigers celebrate. Actually, they might end up giving him a double on that one. And that would give him 3 doubles here in this weekend. So 10 runs on 10 hits, no errors, 4 left on for the Tigers. No runs on 2 hits, no errors, and 4 left on for Millsaps. Official time of this one right under 2 hours as the bell tower just goes off. And wish safe travels back to Millsaps as they head to Jackson, Mississippi. And for the Tigers, be on the road next time out. Not back here for a pretty decent bit. And Trinity at Oglethorpe on Friday and Saturday. They're actually back here after next weekend for a Tuesday game against Concordia, and then they continue on with conference play as they travel back out to Georgia, take on Barry, and then up to Austin for a game against Concordia, and then back to the Austin area for a game against Southwestern. All of that before they're back here against Sewanee on April 19th. So midweek game, and then our next series will be in about a month's time. So I'd like to thank everybody in our control room, Almindra, Craig, Cole. Special thank you to Shepard for keeping me awake here as we played 3 full games in a span of 21 hours. And that'll be it for us from San Antonio. Thank you all for joining in, and have a lovely rest of your weekend.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Trinity University. My name is Andrew Thomas. We're in the call for the game against the Bethel Royals going against the Trinity Tigers. Tigers got the best of the Royals in the last game, which happened about 30 minutes ago. Tigers won that 3-2. Your first time tuning in, I appreciate you. You've been here the entire time. Thank you for sticking around. In the circle today, number 22, Megan Krischbaum for the Tigers. Saw her in action in the latter half of that first game. Top of the order here for the Royals, Cameron Thoreau up to bat. Thoreau went 1 for 4 in the last game as she takes ball number 1. Krischbaum was given the save in the last game as ball number 2 comes in. Krischbaum preparing, winds and delivers. Outside, ball number 3. Krischbaum puts this one into play for a full count. Krischbaum sends it. Swing and a miss, and that'll do it. Krischbaum's first strikeout of the day. It's a pretty hot day here in San Antonio, about 90 degrees now. Sun is out full capacity. As Madeline Franks comes back up to the plate. One attempt. Franks in the last game went 0 for 4. We'll see if she's able to break that streak now. As she prepares to face Krischbaum. Krischbaum fires this one off. One count for Franks. 1 out on the board. Krischbaum preparing, delivers. Inside. Almost hit Franks there. 2-1 count. Krischbaum sends it. Ball 3. 3-1 count here for Krischbaum. We'll see if she's able to recover. She sends this pitch. Fouled off. Full count now. Krischbaum fired off of Franks, and Franks ball advanced to first. To bat now, Abby Otternis. Otternis can be over there in right field today for the Royals. As she takes her first pitch from Krischbaum. For strike number 1. Otternis went 2 for 3 in her plate appearances during the first game. Has a .357 batting average. As she takes her second pitch for a high ball over the glove of Hannah Boudreau, and Franks will advance to second. Krischbaum getting set. Winds and delivers. Ball number 2. Should be a 1-2 count. As Krischbaum sends this one. Swing and a miss, and that'll be Krischbaum's Second strikeout of the day. Off to a hard start. But now Sydney Bartels. Bartels going to be behind plate for the Royals. 500 batting average. Went 1 for 2 in the first game. Oh, 1 count, 2 outs on the board. Runner on second for the Royals. Krishbaum sends this one for strike number 2. Krishbaum preparing. Winds and delivers. Ball 1. High ball. One-two count, 2 outs on the board. Runner still on second for the Royals as Krishbaum sends this pitch. Swing and a miss. That will do it. That'll be Krishbaum's 3rd strikeout of the inning. Score still even at zeros. We'll step away for a moment as both teams prepare for the bottom of the first. Welcome back to Tiger Network. Up to the plate now, number 23, Hannah Boudreau for the Tigers, leadoff hitter. 389 batting average, 1,019 OPS, 15 RBI, 16 runs. As she faces off against Mary Hadgeduke, who's in the circle today for the Royals. First time we've seen her today. See what Hadgeduke's able to do is she sends this one for strike number 1. As Hadgeduke sends this one for ball number 2. Both the Tigers and the Royals kind of struggled with their bats last game. Both teams batted for about 250 each. As high ball number 3 comes in. Hadgeduke preparing. Winds and delivers. Fouled off. Hadgeduke coming into this series is a 3.41 ERA, 2.11 WHIP. This will be her 5th game start and 3rd appearance. As